Welcome, welcome. I'm Christy Garcia, and if you're watching this, you're probably a student, high school, college student, maybe you're a parent of a student looking for some tools, resources to help your student, to help yourself in your studies, because no matter where you're at, learning has its challenges, going to school, college, that all has its challenges for us. And I've been there, and I'm someone who loved school, but that's not the case for everybody, and even for me it had its challenges. So I want to share some things that worked for me, some natural solutions after I tried lots of conventional traditional solutions, to help me with my health and with my studies. So my name is Christy Garcia, like I said, and I work with a company called doTERRA. doTERRA is the largest essential oil company in the world. Okay, and I say that right off the bat, before you kind of turn your mind, oh, I know all about essential oils. Give me a few more minutes. I want to give you some basics, and then I want to talk to you about how that is going to connect into your studies. So when I was first introduced to doTERRA, I had actually dropped out of college. For my first degree, I dropped out because I had a really bad chronic health condition, and I was in constant pain. And if I tell you, I tried multiple surgeries, I did different medications, I tried just all sorts of things, and nothing would really work long term. It all just felt very artificial and very momentary, any kind of relief I could get. And then, so I had moved home from college. I'm kind of feeling really defeated. And how do I move on with my life if I don't know what to do here, and I can barely just function because of the pain? And then my aunt introduced my family to doTERRA essential oils. And I put on 3 drops of this oil before I went to work. I was working as a waitress at the time. And halfway through my shift, I realized that I wasn't in pain anymore. And not only that, but it was consistently helped improve until I was able to manage that chronic health condition and move on with my life in ways that I didn't think I'd be able to do. So that was kind of my first big introduction to doTERRA. And then essential oils just became a part of my life. As I went and did other things with work, when I returned back to school, I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. But in order to kind of understand, if you're watching this and you're a student, you got to understand the background, right? You got to understand the foundation to figure out why this works, or what do I even do with this? How do I put this in my life or in my routine? So I'm going to give you a little bit of background information, how to use the oils, some background information about them, 3 cool things about them, 3 ways to use them, how to get them in your house, and then how to help them improve your academic performance. So I'm going to share 3 cool things about essential oils: that they're safe, that they're effective, and that they're affordable. So when I say that they're safe, I mean that they're 100% natural and safe. There's no chemicals, there's no additives, there's no artificial versions of the oil that's in the bottle. And these oils are natural extracts from plants. So 1 drop of peppermint. I know a couple of you, we'd passed out samples of the peppermint for you to smell. And if you have that right now, go ahead and just put a drop in your hands and smell that. Maybe stay away from your eyes a little bit. I get that a lot. But that'll wake you right up. That'll clear out your sinuses, because 1 drop of that peppermint essential oil is equal to 28 cups of peppermint tea. I don't know about you, I can't drink that much tea in a day. Otherwise, I really wouldn't be doing anything else besides drinking that tea. That 1 drop is 50 to 70 times more powerful than the herb and more concentrated. So even if peppermint was, the thing that worked for you, kept you alert, kept you awake, helped your stomach, whatever it was, you'd have to consume a lot of it to get the maximum benefits. Whereas a drop or 2 of peppermint goes a long way. When I also say safe, and like I said in the beginning, if you are familiar with essential oils and you're like, oh yeah, I've heard this before, maybe you haven't. doTERRA came into the essential oil world amid companies that were really originally designed to fulfill the cosmetic industry or the flavor or the fragrance industry. So very commercialized industry. And they said there's no regulation here on the purity standards, on the quality standards. So they developed a new standard of purity, certified pure therapeutic grade, that really sets us apart from other companies that claim to have other essential oils that would be beneficial for you. So these are the first medicinal essential oils because of that purity and quality standard. Not only that, our lavender just became the first pharmaceutical grade essential oil, which is incredible. I could geek out and tell you more about that. But the first cool thing about essential oils is that they're safe. I use them on my little baby. I've used them on hospice patients, at the end of your life, from 0 to 99 and everybody in between. It is safe for you. It's also very effective. The second cool thing is that essential oils are incredibly effective. So essential oils are an oil extracted from plants. So keep that in mind as we talk about the cell. And if you're a science major watching this, this is going to be super simple. But I'll break it down for those of us that are not, or well, I have a lot of science background, but for other friends watching this that maybe are not as sciencey. So we have cells in our body. Our cells are protected by a membrane, an outside layer that keeps what shouldn't come in on the outside, and then but is effective to allow water, nutrients, other things inside the cell. Two things that are really detrimental to our cells are bacteria and viruses, right? And bacteria, they attach on the outside of that cell membrane, and that's when they start to replicate, cause harm in the body. We have antibacterial medicines that are somewhat effective against those in modern medicine. However, our viruses, they cross through that cell membrane and they start to replicate on the inside of your cell. And what happens if you get a virus and you go to your doctor? He's probably going to tell you, okay, wait it out, drink lots of liquids, not much I can do for you, right? Because most modern medicine is not designed, is not able, it's a synthetic molecule. It can't cross that cell membrane inside the cell. However, that cell membrane is hydrophobic, so it hates water, loves oil, loves fats. And so an oil that's an organic molecule, aka an essential oil, can cross that cell membrane and is effective on the outside and the inside of the cells. The example that I have on the slide is our blend. It's a blend of different oils. It's called On Guard, and it's for immunity, for function. I don't know about you as a student getting sick. I mean, I would always feel like I would get sick right before finals, right before a big test, partly because I was kind of stressed out, partly because I was more susceptible. I was staying up late, not getting great sleep. So I was really susceptible to getting coughs, colds, any kinds of things like that. And On Guard is incredible for that. I remember going back to school and using this before exams and just feeling completely protected. Like, okay, I'm not worried about the tickle in my throat or blowing my nose all through the final exam. It just, without having to take time out of my day to go find other solutions, I could just pull this out of my pocket. So the real second cool thing about essential oils is that they're incredibly effective. Third cool thing about essential oils, and this is very key for my college students out there, is that they're actually very affordable. Drop by drop, they're actually more affordable than traditional medical care. So I'm just gonna break it down. Let's talk about, like, you had the cough, cold, even flu that I was talking about before finals are coming up in the last slide. And so you said, okay, well, I've got study group and I've got class, but I've also got work. So I'm gonna have to miss something so I can go over to the health center and see somebody. Okay, so whatever you chose to miss, whether it was class or study group or even work, you took your time out, you went to the health center. Maybe you have a co-insurance with your health plan. Maybe you don't. Let's say maybe you don't have to pay anything, but you still have to take time to go out and see them. And then the doctor recommends a prescription. So you take more time and you go over to the pharmacy. Maybe you don't even have to pay for the prescription. Maybe that's covered. Maybe you still have a copay. You get that medicine, you take it, you start taking it however long it takes to work. Most antibacterials, cough, cold, flu medicine can take 3 to 5 days to really start to see an effect. And in the meantime, you're kind of miserable while you're trying to halfway function, right? For school, for work, for study group, for finals, all of that kind of stuff. So even if you didn't have those copays, you're still taking time, energy, sometimes the gas money just to drive from where you live to the health center, to the pharmacy, to back wherever you got to go. And then wait up to a week to really start feeling better. On the other hand, if you whipped out that On Guard or a tea tree oil and started using that while you were at study group, say, hey, okay, guys, I know this smells like Christmas in a bottle, the On Guard does, but I'm just trying to stay healthy, put that on, keep putting that on all night the next morning as you're studying, as you're going to work, and then you're able to do that all while you're doing everything you need to do. And then within about 48 hours, you're starting to feel a little better. That little tickle is kind of going away in your throat. Your sinuses are clearing up, and you haven't needed to miss anything. So dollar for dollar and time for time, which is really important. Our time is money. This is incredibly affordable. This has saved me so much money over the past 10 years in my medical health needs. And I'm not against modern medicine. I work in the medical field. I'm all for modern medicine, and the advantages that provides us. But if you can start with a solution in your pocket that works, that is effective, that is safe, that is natural, that does not have side effects. A lot of times taking an antibacterial, an antibiotic, that affects your gut health and can really mess with your stomach mobility for days after taking the antibiotic. And so no side effects with these natural, pure, high quality essential oils. It makes the cost effectiveness of this incredibly high. The example on this slide is our lavender. It's calming, it's great for sleep, great for stress. It actually lowers cortisol levels in the body. It mentions that it's an antihistamine, so it's great for allergies. So there's just a couple examples there of how affordable essential oils actually are. Okay, so the 3 cool things about essential oils: safe, effective, and affordable. I do teach classes just where I talk more and more about each one of these things, really break it down. You can check out some of those other videos on this YouTube channel, but I want to move along a little bit. Next, how are you going to even use it? 3 ways we're going to use essential oils. And the most common one that people probably think about is aromatic, is just inhaling it, diffusing it right out of the bottle, things like that. And sometimes people are like, does that really even work? Like, why does smelling oils even do anything? So if you think about going to the dentist, most time the dentist doesn't give you a pill or an injection. They normally use laughing gas. Okay, and you put that laughing gas mask over, and within a couple minutes, you're relaxing. Maybe you're even getting a little bit loopy, a little bit sleepy. Your muscles are relaxing, your eyes are closing. You're having a physical response. So as that chemical traveled up your olfactory nerve from your nose into your brain, it started to have a chemical reaction. And then that chemical reaction led to a physical reaction, an emotional reaction, as you physically felt your shoulders drop, your eyes close, your body relax. Maybe you took a deep breath, or maybe you started kind of giggling because the chemicals that are in that. And that's same with an essential oil. An essential oil smell gets into your brain quickly, gets into your bloodstream very quickly. Not only that, but the sense of smell in your brain overlaps directly with our limbic system, which is our emotional behavior center of the brain. So essential oils are incredibly powerful emotionally. I'm actually a mental health specialist and essential emotions coach. So mental health and essential oils is my specialty. So I teach a whole other class on that. But just smelling this, just diffusing an oil while you're studying, they've done clinical trial studies and seen the benefits of this and how it boosts memory, retention, focus, knowledge recall, all of that. So inhaling, whether it's a diffuser or straight out of the bottle, putting on a little cotton ball and having that to smell, are all very powerful ways to use essential oils. Some examples include Adaptive. This is a blend that was designed specifically for anxiety, for anxious states. So it's great for, like it says, for improving sustained attention. So whether that's in a lecture hall, whether that's at home while you're trying to stay focused and study, or whether you're getting nervous before a big exam, this one is incredibly powerful to use. Another one, this is probably one of my favorite oils, one of my favorite blends. It's called Citrus Bliss. It's a uplifting, almost like a citrus and vanilla blend. Very uplifting, very positive. So if you need a little bit of motivation, a little bit of uplifting cheerfulness, this is a great option for you. And then topical, think about, why would I want to put an oil on topically? One, your skin is your largest organ. And so as the oils absorb through the skin, first they're going to go top in that local area. So think about you having a sunburn or pain in a certain location, a rash, things like that. Topical application is perfect. This is great for a headache that you might have. You might have tension or stress in your neck and your shoulders. I know I remember times feeling like a hunchback while I was studying, trying to focus so intently and not moving from that position. So there are some really great oils options for topical application, including Breathe. Breathe is great for lungs, for sinuses, both at night time during the day. If you struggle with snoring or breathing at night, it's great to diffuse at night, or just put on right over your nose on top of your sinuses right here to promote health, to promote good breathing at night. You can also put them on the bottoms of your feet. Putting oils on your bottoms of your feet is actually very beneficial. Even if it feels like it's super far away from your nose and your lungs, your feet have the most pores per square inch on your body, and they also have the largest pores. So it's almost like putting things at the end of a candle wick, and your body just soaks it right up. So that's, especially if you don't like the smell of a certain oil, that's okay. It can still have great benefits for you if you don't like the smell. Put it on the bottoms of your feet, put some socks over it, and you'll still get some great benefits from that application. Another great one, like I was mentioning, for headaches, for sore, tense muscles in your neck and shoulders, we have this blend called Deep Blue that is really fantastic for that. And then internal. And again, you might be like, internal? Am I really allowed to take oils internally? And the answer is yes. That goes back to doTERRA's quality and purity standard of certified pure therapeutic grade. Other essential oils that you buy at the store or on Amazon, it'll say on the bottle, not for internal use. And that's because they can't guarantee the quality from bottle to bottle. It might be a little bit different. It might have, or you might react to an additive, to a chemical, to a filler, to another substance that's artificial in that blend. And I'm not saying that people can't have allergies to an essential oil. I have a friend that's allergic to cilantro and she cannot do cilantro oil. Another friend that's allergic to lavender. But most times when people react to commercial essential oils, it's because of a chemical or a filler that's in there. However, we don't have to worry about that. We can trust the purity, not only because doTERRA tests it internally, but we use external testing, third-party testing, not even just, you don't have to take our word for it. So we are confident in the purity and we know we can take it internally. So I love to take lemon in my water, or if it's an oil that's stronger that I don't like the taste of, I can put it in a little veggie cap, swallow it, or I can even put other ones under my tongue. This is really good for cleaning your system, for supporting cellular function, cellular health. So Digescent is great for an upset stomach, motion sickness, nausea, and improved digestion. Kind of whatever your struggle might be with digestion, this blend will help fix that, straighten you out. Like I mentioned, lemon. Lemon is a great one. It's actually one of my #1 recommendations for students, and I'll get to my top recommendation page in a minute, but it's the oil of focus. So putting it across your forehead while you're studying, or diffusing it in the room, and then putting it on again right before you take the test that you were studying for, it has been shown to improve test performance. And then this is we call frankincense the king of the oils. You put it with any other oil and it magnifies that oil. But it's also incredibly good for cellular health, anti-aging, promoting feelings of calmness, lots of great benefits from this one. Okay, so the 3 ways that we use essential oils: aromatically, topically, and internally. Okay. Okay, so on to my top super student recommendations. Like I mentioned, lemon is on the top of my list because they've done great studies on that and how that improves performance on tests. Another great blend is called InTune. So everyone's body's different. Some might respond really well to one or the other, but we've done lots of testing on the lemon. And for memory and retention, along with the lemon, they've done testing on rosemary. And rosemary helps improve recall, and retention of information that you study. So a lot of times when I would say that, I would actually do both lemon and rosemary. Okay. And then for energy, not that students need energy at all with late night studies or early morning classes, you can combine peppermint and wild orange. You just need a drop or two of each one and put that in your hands, mix it together, cup over your nose and mouth, and just breathe really deeply. And that is just an energizing combo. Kind of has the minty freshness and the citrus energizing. So very powerful. I love doing that, first thing in the morning to get me going. I would also recommend, like I said, doTERRA is an essential oil company, but we actually have a lot of other wellness products, supplements, other items, and our Lifelong Vitality is actually one of our number one products. I'll talk more about that in a minute. Then for anxiety, I actually know a lot of students more and more that we struggle with anxiety, whether that's just wanting to perform well, wanting to do well, we don't test well. And so Adaptive, like I mentioned earlier, is our blend specifically for anxiety. And then we have another single oil called Copaiba. That is incredibly powerful for that as well, for calming, for relaxing your nervous system, all of that. And then for stress, I think no matter what your major is, where you're at in school, stress is going to be a part of it. So, top recommendations for stress are lavender, Roman chamomile, and basil. I'm going to get a little bit nerdy right here. And again, I teach a whole other class about where I go more into the mental health stuff and the neurotransmitters. However, the lavender, Roman chamomile, and basil, not only do they help reduce cortisol in the body, but they increase GABA in the brain. So GABA is a neurotransmitter that's kind of like the brakes in the brain. It helps your brain kind of calm down, re-regulate, recenter, kind of pulls you out of, that the fight or flight or the super stressed out mode. So they're fantastic for all things stress related. And then kind of that goes hand in hand with sleep. If you're not sleeping because you're stressed or because you're anxious, start with one of those other ones before you go to this. But I mentioned how great Breathe can be for helping you breathe well when you're sleeping. And then Serenity, along lavender is a major component in our Serenity blend, but Serenity is formulated to have a restful night's sleep. And then again, like I mentioned earlier in the class, there's nothing worse than trying to get ready for finals or for a big test or a big project and you're sick and you're coughing and you're sneezing and all your things. So to keep your immunity up, On Guard is essential. You can just put that into your daily routine. You don't have to wait until you start feeling like you're getting a cough or a cold. I just kind of keep it in my daily routine to help improve my immunity. So if you want, screenshot this, not write it down, but I actually have something that'll kind of help you get all this together. But let me first talk about Lifelong Vitality Vitamin. This is actually our number one selling product in the company because we said, okay, we can do better than what's already on the market. We know how to do better. We know the science. We have the science to back us up and the nutrition. So these 3 bottles are 3 different complexes that comprise our vitamins. Like it says, the Microplex VMZ, the Alpha CRS, the Z Omega. The Omega has essential oils in it, has omega 3, 6, 9 fatty acids. And then they have multivitamin, minerals, antioxidants. And I bring this up for students because you might be like, okay, well, so much information, Christy, I can only do so much. I only have so much of a budget that I can spend towards this, even if I'm really interested in this. If you can only pick one thing, may I recommend that you seriously consider these vitamins. So whatever your budget is, think about this. I didn't put this slide in, but these vitamins go for wholesale about $79, $80, right? I think, wow, Chrissy, that's way more than I want to spend. But compare that to if you break it down for the nutritional value that's in these 3 bottles and try and buy all your whole foods and all your food that'll give you the same nutritional support that you need, enough iron, enough vitamin C, enough zinc, all of those things, it would cost you $1,400 to buy that in groceries, to get enough eggs and zinc and pumpkin seeds and milk and everything you need to get that kind of nutritional value. So bang for your buck. Even if you're trying to eat really healthy as a student, It's not always possible or feasible. However, these vitamins can help fill in the gaps, give you the nutrition, the support that your body needs with vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, all of those good things to help you function optimally, even if you're not eating salads and protein shakes every day, right? So I teach a whole other class on this, but I felt like it was worth mentioning for my students because it's fantastic for energy, for focus, for all overall well-being. I had a client that she had mono in high school, and after taking this just for a couple weeks was able to start functioning again, start working full time again, just completely changed her life, and I've seen story after story. So that's a top recommendation for my students. So how are you going to get this? You say, okay, well, this sounds really nice, but again, this is my budget, whatever that looks like for you. Okay. So 3 ways you could get these oils. First one, you could buy it retail, right? You could go to the store, get stuff off the shelf. We actually don't sell doTERRA in stores. But maybe you would get it at a salon or at another event, things like that. But retail is the most expensive way to get it. And you're only going to pay retail in those kinds of settings. So nobody here listening to this class today, you don't need to buy this retail, scratch that off your list, right? So next way that you can get essential oils is wholesale, kind of like a Sam's Club, a Costco membership, right? You're going to get 25% below retail, get the products for the best prices that are available. So that's you could be what we call a wholesale customer and get your products at a wholesale price. But the third way, and the way that I personally recommend, no matter kind of what you want to do with your oils when you get them, is below wholesale. So not only do you get it below wholesale, or sorry, below retail at the 25% off for products, but then you also get points, you accrue points, you get free products every month by doing a loyalty rewards program. And that's what we would call a wellness advocate. So whatever, whether you're just wanting to be a wholesale customer or you're looking to get a little bit more bang for your buck, that would be my recommendation. And then you guys are probably hearing this, and real quick, maybe you're like, okay, I just want to add a few things into my life, a few tools. I just want to live a better, healthier lifestyle and be a better student, right? Or maybe you're thinking of this and you're like, man, I got to tell so and so, or I got to tell my roommate, or I've got to tell my friend, or I've got to tell somebody. Okay. So just by sharing essential oil, you don't have to do anything else other than, okay, I'm going to share this class with so and you can get your products paid for without having to do anything active. Or maybe you're listening and you're like, oh my goodness, I love this kind of stuff. And this makes me so excited. I want to learn all the science about it. And I want to, maybe I want to actually do something with this and teach classes or actually earn an income like I do with this. I know a friend of mine, she was in college and she'd used the oils before. And then she started to, wow, I have a little extra spending money just from sharing with my friends. I wonder what else I can do. And she challenged herself. And before she graduated, she did graduate with her bachelor's. She was making a full-time income with just doing this business. And so there's a really great business opportunity. Again, I could talk to you more about that, but as college students, that's something great to have, is just a little extra spending money, maybe even pay for your tuition every semester through this side gig, doing a couple hours a week. So you can always reach out to me about that. Now, I mentioned that I want to give you the most bang for your buck. I am conscious of your guys' budgets. So there's 3 kits together that will kind of give you the most bang for your buck. Like I said, when you get a kit, you don't have any enrollment fee. You'll get it at the wholesale discount. This one, called the Healthy Start Kit, kind of gives you our top 10 oils. So kind of the most diverse support. We're talking about lavender and lemon and On Guard and even frankincense, breathe, things like that. Oh, it also comes with a diffuser, which is helpful, right? But they're the smaller bottles. And then if you're like, okay, Christy, those vitamins, maybe that's really the missing piece. Maybe that's really what I need to be more successful. Maybe I'll start there. Okay, so this one comes with the vitamins, that deep blue. This comes like the oil, the deep blue comes in a lotion as well. So great for those headaches, great for the tense muscles in your neck and your back. It has some gut health, the On Guard immunity support, a couple other things, priced at $195. Saves you a lot of money there if you kind of group those all together. One more, this is called my Simple Solutions kit. And it's just a couple things all together, but you can also customize other things. It has that deep blue. It has Serenity for sleep support, Lemon for the focus, On Guard for the immunity. Um, Also, right now, you can kind of make your own kit and still bypass, don't have to, no membership fee. It'll be completely free. And you can kind of mix and match. You know, I had one friend that said, hey, that anxiety, the adaptive, not only does it have an oil, it has a roll on and it has capsules. Maybe I just want that anxiety kit, you know, and I'm just going to start there and then we'll go from there. And that's totally fine. Okay. But as you add additional items, you still get more savings. But the kits are kind of designed to get you the most bang for your buck at one time. Okay. So I hope that this has been supportive and helpful. I just want to kind of close out. I told you I went back to school eventually, right? I went back and got my public health degree. And while I'd gone back to school, I got a devastating diagnosis. I was diagnosed with cancer at 29. And I was like, I've just gotten back to school. I don't want to drop out. I want to finish. I want to do this. But in order to stay enrolled at school, I had to have health insurance, and I had health insurance through my work. And I also needed health insurance because I was going through cancer. And so I couldn't stop working. So I worked full time. I went to school full time. I did my cancer treatment full time during this for about 2 years. And let me tell you guys, the only way that I survived that and graduated on the honor roll, passed all my classes, was because of the products and the natural support that I got. The vitamins, I got support for pain that I dealt with for treatment, recovery from surgery, emotional benefits, just the emotional roller coaster that cancer can take you on. And I hope that, you know, you listening to this, you're not going through something that dramatic as a cancer diagnosis while you're in college. But whatever it is, maybe it is just extreme test anxiety, or it's stress, or whatever it is for you. If I could empower you to say, you know what, I have tools in my pocket in my dorm room that'll help me before I have to go farther, and I can make those decisions for myself and really take care of my health myself. That's empowering. You know, whether you're 18 or 88, that's powerful. And so I love this quote: if you want to change the world, you have to empower people. That's the only way you can make any permanent effective change in the world. And so that's why I do this. Before I use the oils just in my life, you know, for 10 years. And then after going through cancer, I said, you know, everyone needs to know this. Everyone needs to know that they have natural, safe, effective tools that can impact them no matter where you're at. You know, I'm coming to you now as a working professional, and it impacts my daily life, my productivity. But it also impacted me as a student and as a learner and as a lifelong learner, as a mom. And so wherever you're at in life, you know, today's class was specifically about students. I have other classes here on my YouTube channel you can definitely check out. I'll put some links below so that you can check out those kits, check out other products, send me messages. And then if you have more questions, reach out to the person who sent you this link. Thanks so much, guys. You have a fantastic day and go rock your studies.